Tell me a little bit about your journey. I've seen a lot of your videos. I've been on your website. I'll tell my audience, myself, I feel like your story is so transformational because I feel like everybody kind of goes through this path, right? Doing something that not that they hated doing, but they just didn't realize it wasn't their passion. And then having this awakening and then deciding to do this, like I call it the cultural shift, right? What happened to you and how did you decide to change all of a sudden?
I guess it wasn't all of a sudden at the end, because if I really think about it, it was accumulation of several things happening in my life. So first of all, I guess as I mentioned, as I in my heart, I am a world traveler. That's why after I finished my bachelor's studies back in Lithuania, I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to go meet new types of people, exploring the new cultures and stuff like that. And yet I was still somehow conditioned of how I'm supposed to live my life, because in Lithuania it's kind of, conservative, and my family was a very typical, let's call it like that, family, nothing very special, no entrepreneurship, nothing like that. Right. And so for me, it was kind of normal to follow those typical steps in life. After you graduate, you go work, you are in a relationship, then your relationship somehow evolves. And then in your mind, you have this thought, by 30, I'm supposed to be married and have kids. And that kind of stuff. And the thing is that I have been like following all those steps, and yet somehow I was just not really enjoying it. When I studied, I didn't like my studies. And then when I started working, it was fine. But then I thought, why is it only fine? Like, I don't want to live a fine life. I want to be excited about what I do, especially knowing how much time we spend on working on something. And I think I've read it somewhere that in a lifetime, we spend on average about 90,000 hours working.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's at least 10 years of pure work. Then when I realized that, I thought, no, I want to do something that drives me, that excites me, that really is getting me out of bed with a smile on my face, and not like, oh, I need to go to work again. Like, so I think the tipping point was that there were so many different things happening in my life at the time that, first of all, I lost my mom when I was 23. She was 47. Then I was in a relationship that was not really working. Then I was just really somehow unfulfilled and unhappy, and I didn't know why. And I reached out to a coach, and that was the tipping point when everything started changing. I started working with a coach who asked me the right questions, who listened to what was going on in my head and in my heart, and how I created this story in my head of how I'm supposed to live my life. And that's when it started changing. It wasn't just an overnight situation. It was definitely a process, but starting to work with the coach was definitely the very beginning of it all.